Hi, and welcome back to Mucky Hope Productions. We're here to chat about Survivor Season 49, Episode 3.
3. Yes.
And thank God he's here. Next to me is Jake. How you doing, Jake?
I'm doing very well. I'm excited to talk about this one, even though it's an odd one, that's for sure.
It was an odd one, and it's even odder by the fact that we haven't been joined by Drew yet. He is on his way, so don't worry, everyone. You will hear his insights this week.
He's
because
coming
I know
back, I swear.
he's coming back. He will be here. He said, "Start without me." He's coming back. So you will be able to get his insights this week. But it was a funny old episode this week. Maybe we'll just kick off talking about the elephant in the room, the main part of the episode. Jake, what were your thoughts on it? Why don't you talk us through it if anyone didn't see it?
Jake is just chilling.
Sorry, just to interrupt, Gabe. No, he didn't get bit by a snake.
Did not.
I did ask that too.
Yeah. my good friend, my companion, Jake, my namesake, got bit by a snake.
Hey.
Hey. Yeah. That is just God. Oh, I can't. The same thing sort of happened with Bruce a couple seasons ago, and that's why I'm going to be predicting they're going to bring him back. They're going to bring back Jake for another season, just like they did with Bruce on 45. Obviously, he's not on 50, but I would not be shocked if he's on 51 or 52 or somewhere in the future, because this is just this has never happened. I mean, Jeff even says, like, this is unprecedented. Like, and it's crazy because not only is this the first time this ever happened, but it almost feels like they are always teasing this sort of thing. They're always like in the cutaways, are always showing these creepy looking critters, these spiders, these snakes. And it's like, I remember I was watching with one of my friends trying to get them into the show, and they're like, why are they always showing these creatures? Like nothing ever happens, like it just feels dumb that they just keep panning over to these things that never even pose any threat. And I remember being like kind of agreeing with him a little bit, but I just was more like, it's just more like the vibe, like they're in the jungle, No, it actually happens now. Like those creepy crawlies, they can get you. They get a handbook that's like, don't try not to get bit or stung or whatever by these specific things. And it just happened. And he didn't even get injected with venom. And he still got removed. Like, can you even call it? Like, I mean, you can call it a medical evacuation because it was the medical staff. But really, I mean, there was no immediate threat to his life like we've seen with some of these nasty infections that they got in, when they were in Cambodia. Geez, man, some of those cuts and stuff and scratches that they were getting, those looked bad. And we're like, dude, if we don't get you out of this game and get you hooked up on some antibiotics, nutrients, IV, whatever, you literally could die. That is not what happened here. And that almost makes it worse. Because it's like, dude, it's just like an emotional aspect, which is totally fair. Of course, I understand.
But also, he would have been in pretty rough shape, just as they all would have been at that point, in pretty rough shape.
Yeah.
And I think the key is as well, I think with the snake bites, that tends to be what happens, is that they're a dry bite.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess there's always the potential that it isn't. I think they can determine it to a certain extent, but you still would want to observe someone for a certain amount of time just to be sure. And that's kind of what Gabe agrees with me. You can't risk any venom no matter the amount from a dry bite. So I think because he Yeah, I think it's a case they can't just throw him back in there because there's too many unknowns,
Yeah.
even though it doesn't look like he received a critical amount of venom that put him into, cardiac arrest on the boat
Oh
on
yeah.
the back, which potentially could have been the case. But, leaving it unsupervised could lead to infections or that sort of thing. So
You just
I sort
can't.
of
You
get it, but
just
it's
can't take any
heartbreaking.
risk.
Mm.
You can't take any risk. This is just a game. It's literally just a game. It's just a TV show, like literally. And also, like I feel like I said, they're probably gonna bring him back. So almost like,
Yeah.
this almost like strengthens his case for like returning for another season. Like I think people are gonna remember this guy. Like, oh yeah, he was like the guy that was just like hiding people's shoes and then he got bit by a snake. Like what?
Oh, I forgot the shoe bandits out. I didn't even remember that slide. Oh,
isn't it sad? Like I'm actually really sad that he's gone. I'm really sad. He wasn't going to get voted out. Well, maybe if they would have still done a tribe swap, there could have been a chance he got screwed or whatever. But man, I'm bummed. I'm really bummed.
Yeah. Well, I'll get to you in a minute, Gabe. Danica makes the point. This is how AU is better to take them away to hospital for 48 hours and then back in the game. What do you think of that? Whether that should have been something that happened.
I understand why a lot of people, I'm personally for that. But I think I understand why some people don't agree with doing that, because it's like, well, if it's something like this where he didn't even get actually injected with any venom and then they get to, inject him with a bunch of nutrients, like he's going to come back like, oh yeah, I'm feeling energized. I just got I just got an IV. I just got some food, like I'm ready to go. And it's like, what the heck? He wasn't even in danger of dying. Like obviously the context, like, but it feels more like super strictly following the rules, fairness to everyone, that if you have to be taken for medical attention, then sorry, we have to remove you, like in terms of like having to give them IV and food and so forth. Like, that is what Australia does, just to be clear, right? They are allowed to give them water and food and all that, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, like I remember, I don't remember her name, but I believe she had like ectopic pregnancy on.
Holy shit.
It was the George's first season, Brain versus Brawn, the first one.
Because I'm not as well versed in Australian Survivor.
Yeah, so no, this is like, I'm not either. I'm just like, this is just, I remember being like, holy shit, ectopic pregnancy. Like, wow.
It's like a serious medical condition.
You can totally, like, people die from that, like, all the time, like, that's really no joke, so, like, in that case, they totally would have removed them if that happened here. But I believe actually, I can't remember if she got taken out of the game or not, but they did. You know what? I think she did get removed from the game eventually, because it was like, this is like a weeks long thing that you have to endure if you go through that. But they did say like, okay, she's getting her, 48-hour removal from the game where, like she's able to be given, X and Y. She came back. Gabe says she came back and they voted her out that same night. No way.
Is that a joke or is that real? Was that a joke?
I swear. Okay, I think her name was Georgina.
Georgia was her name.
George.
There you go.
George.
While we've paused, I still just want to. This tickled me, Gabe. Jake should have worn shoes. The shoe bandit should have worn shoes.
What an ironic twist of fate for the shoe bandit. If only
That's exactly was his undoing. Was the shoes? That was his. Undoing.
Could you imagine if Alex or something was like, you know what, I'm going to be the shoe bandit today, and then he had Jake's shoes, and that's why he didn't have them on at the time of being bit? That would be terrible.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. that is Gabe is not messing with us. That is exactly what happened.
They're built different over here.
After being briefly removed from the game due to illness, Georgia became the first person to miss a tribal council due to medical intervention. Upon her return, Georgia was swiftly voted out by the majority alliance after her tribe lost another immunity challenge. So you can actually miss tribal councils and come back.
Yeah.
See, like
Jeff would never allow it. Never allow it.
Not only would he not allow it, I don't even know how I feel about that. That's a little. I'm up for. I could be swayed, but I'm not totally sure.
You'd have to see it to believe it.
Yeah. So
I do also like that we. I saw Jake got bit by the venomous snake, and the curtain back, and Jeff Probst break the fourth wall. I loved that. Like they just had this shot of like Daddy Jeff running in. He always needs to help. It's like, it's okay, Daddy Jeff's here. He's gonna sort it all out.
It's like, Jake, don't worry, I'm here for you. And it's like, if I'm in that moment, I'm like, get the fuck away from me. Like I
think I'd find him very comforting personally. I'd go, oh, everything is gonna be okay because Jeff's here.
You know what? It could be, but for me, I'm just like, I am so overwhelmed. Don't ask me to commentate what's going on right now. I'm sort of going through something. You know what I mean? Like obviously we don't see everything that happens. So I'm sure that he was like, not pressuring him to do anything. But my gut reaction to that is like,
I'm here.
It's like, this man, it's like, everybody watching at home, this Survivor contestant right here needs a kidney transplant ASAP, and I will be the one to do it. We are making history, Survivor history. He would do it. He would totally do it.
He would. As Gabe says, Jeff wants his Emmy in that moment. Oh,
yeah.
A kidney transplant would do it, Gabe, I think.
Oh, yeah. Somebody needs to go out there with like some sort of condition that requires it and just create the moment for us so we can have it.
Yeah. Well, Jeff just needs that. He's waiting. Yeah. Waiting for a given organ to a Survivor contestant moment on the beach.
On the beach.
Emmy.
Oh, man. Emmy. Yeah, no, this really unfortunate, and it just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel right. But they did what they had to do, and you can't really fault them for it.
Being risk adverse is just what you have to do when you're dealing with a huge corporation like Survivor, and
liability obviously is the first thing on their minds, but also I do like to believe Jeff jumps into this.
So CPR in this case suck at the vent.
Oh man.
They took away his superhero moment at the end of the episodes, when he used to get the votes and then jump out of a plane or something, and he needs his superhero moment. He needs
it. Yeah, he needs something. At least have him do like a cartwheel or something as he's walking down the steps from the voting booth to grab the votes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so hopefully we see Jake back season 51 because season 50 they thought was a bit too precious.
Yeah. I do want to say I did see Danica in the chat say question why I was saying it was obvious that Jake wasn't going to be on 50 because she knew that 2 contestants from 49 were going to be on 50.
Yeah.
So I don't want to spoil any further if that's the case. You don't know, but there are 2 people from this season on 50, but one of them is not Jake. I will say that.
Which is a missed opportunity because I think he would have been a good player to bring back. But I guess when we're talking in the context of the entire thing, he's out by episode 3.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Way to go. Could you imagine, them asking, oh, we've never seen you before. What happened on your season? Or, they ask like if there was another person from 49 on that season, like, he got bit by a snake and he was out by by round 3. You know, everyone else can be like,
Yeah.
what is he doing here? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it would have. I think it was the right choice, and not to bring him back for 50, but certainly I'm open to him coming back in the future, and I definitely think there's a large possibility.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now we've talked about, you know, the snake bite of it all, Daddy Jeff sorting everything out. So he always sorts everything out. We touch base with our tribes at the top of the episode. We've got Kelly is starving and struggling and thinking about how on earth they could move forward. Little did they know how bad it could possibly get. We see Hina decide to do a group idol hunt and share it evenly amongst everyone, so everyone gets a little touch of it. And in Uli, Sage is trying to find a bit of a foothold in her place in the game. So we've talked a lot about Kelly. Let's have a chat about Hina and later Uli doing the let's share the idol around to everyone. Let's all get involved. What are your thoughts on that, Jake?
If I'm sitting there listening to somebody say that, I'm like, give me a break. That's not happening. You know, like this is a very interesting situation, to be fair, where they are just dominating. They are just dominating these challenges, and they have strong numbers against, you know, one of these tribes. And the other tribe, the third tribe in this case, also has
Sorry, I meant to
lot.
star that. I didn't even read it. I don't know why they went ahead to do a tribal since they already done a player. Don't they usually forgo? Oh, we had a chat. Sorry,
Yeah,
I clicked the wrong button and brought that up. But while it's here, we did have a little chat about that before you got here, Danica. And I said, oh, when I was looking, there was about 10 minutes left, and I thought, oh, maybe they're not going to do a tribal, but they did end up doing a tribal. Sorry,
I think it
Sorry
was.
to interrupt your flow.
No worries. And to just add on to that real quick, I think it has to do also with, like, you know, the reveal to the other tribes about, you know, his fate was revealed at the immunity challenge. So it would have been hard to, like, just the way the instance that it happened in the cycle, the 3-day cycle, was like they kind of had to do it this way for like TV show editing purposes. That's my thoughts on why they did it. Yeah. But yeah, they do normally like just forego the tribal when something happens. But I feel like we normally see like they get evacuated like on the day of the tribal. And so they're like, oh, well, we were already going to eliminate somebody today anyway. So somebody got eliminated. So we'll just skip tribal.
I'm thinking about I think it was All Stars with the Sue and the Richard Hatch of it all, and Sue pulling herself. I believe they didn't go on with the challenge that day. Am I correct me if I'm wrong? I feel like they canceled it.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if someone still went home.
I believe that they skipped tribal altogether that day. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd have to watch it again. Anyway.
I could be wrong, but yeah.
Yeah, it's going back 20 years, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying, I can't remember what you were saying, but you were saying
I was saying with the whole, like, you know, let's all find this idol together, group idol search. It's a bit of an odd situation. Normally, I would say, and I still sort of am saying this, of like, you know, piss off, you know, we're not doing that. But I understand the thought behind it, because they want to be a unified tribe against Uli, the red tribe, which also still has their 6 all together. And, you know, as they say later on in the episode, like, it sort of feels like it's just Uli versus Hina. And, you know, they're kind of just disregarding Alex and Sophie, which is kind of sad, but it's just how they feel. You know, they're just like, we're all sticking together. And so we sort of see some of them being like, whatever, like, we're doing this just to keep up, you know, impressions, but this is dumb. And we sort of see two outcomes happen on both of the tribes. They both do this. They both do this group idol search. One of them, MC on Hina, she finds the idol, shares it only with Steven, her number one. And that's it. They don't tell anybody else. You know, as far as they know, there's still an idol out there somewhere. There's still a beware advantage out there somewhere. And then on Uli, the red tribe, Rizzo finds it and shouts all to the world, I found it. Yes. Woohoo. And everyone knows. And I think I like what MC did better. I think that's probably the way to go. It's gonna be It's gonna be probably better for her that only her closest ally knows about it.
I think so. I always think the idols should be hidden, like kept close to your chest. I'm very curious to see how the Rizzo moment, the fallout from that, especially with the tribe swap. I'm assuming Rizzo didn't have let's all have one turn at it every night. I'm assuming Rizzo has it. And so he's about to go into a tribe swap with it. And whether
everyone knows, everyone on his tribe knows.
Exactly. I mean, considering there is a tribe swap, actually that might strengthen, you know, he'll have 3 or whatever of the Uli with him. And, you know, okay. But still, it really I think depends. MC had the better play.
It depends on how these numbers work out. I think that if he's in the minority, like if he gets swapped onto a tribe with like one, or if he's alone, like with one of his tribe mates from his original tribe, then they're going to be like, oh yeah, this is perfect. Like, let's bait them into voting for one of us. And then just have Rizzo play the auto for him, and we're good. We can regain the numbers back. You know, there's a few different scenarios where, you know, this goes to show this is a complicated game, man. Like, there are, at face value, people are going to say like, what an idiot. Why is he telling everybody about it? But like, it could help, you know, and it could scare them. It could scare people from voting for you so you can survive longer and you can just keep bluffing and bluffing and bluffing. You know, it's just, an idol is powerful, man. So there's going to be some hindsight happening, you know, when we see what ends up happening with this idol. But right now I feel like I personally definitely would have done what MC did, but I get why, you know, the Vibe tribe, you know, is all about, you know, just being open with each other. I guess, you know, trust is also a very powerful tool in this game. If you find out later that Rizzo found an idol, it didn't tell you until now.
That's true.
That can make you be like, why didn't you tell me, huh? I thought we were close. I thought we were the Vibe tribe, huh? You know, so I get it. But it's complicated. And I would say that, you know, just don't tell anybody. It's called a hidden immunity idol for a reason, you know.
Well, I think Gabe brings up a really interesting question. If Rizzo and MC end up on the same swapped tribe and lose, will it be a race to the well for the ball and chain?
See,
that's fascinating.
I don't know. So is the ball and chain or the clue or whatever it is, I don't know if it's going to be a ball and chain for everyone. Is it going to be for whichever beach you are on, like when you get swapped to, or is it going to be on the red beach since Rizzo was on the red tribe? And is that clue going to be on the yellow beach for MC's idol because she was on the yellow? There's going to be some explanations that are going to need to happen next week. That's for sure.
And I didn't pay close enough attention to the teaser for next week. Are they going into they're going into 2 tribes? They're not going into 3.
I don't think they revealed it for sure, but I would be shocked if it wasn't 2 tribes.
Right.
Just because of how the numbers shook out. I think there's 14 of them, so can't even evenly split that 3 ways. So
no. So I think it would be 2 tribes. Well, that would be interesting. Is it a case of you have to hop on a boat, go back to your beach, and
like what is going to happen with this?
I do miss those challenges where they have to I think we last saw it in Winners at War, where they had to go over to the other beat. That's
sneak
terrific.
off.
Yeah,
that would be cool. Or like, who knows? Maybe they just like lose it. Maybe they just don't have access to it anymore. Like, I don't know. Like, haven't we seen somebody find the Beware advantage and then their tribe just never loses? So they just like never got to get the idol, like something like that. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Surely. If Drew was here, Drew would be able to tell us. He would know.
Yeah.
But what I liked that I picked up this time more so than last week or the week before with the first Beware challenge is that you only lose your vote. Like, it's not lose your vote. Has it always been lose your vote until you find it? Or, no, what am I trying to say? I swear people have gone to tribal with a lost vote because they couldn't find it or something like that. I feel like it's different this time around. It's a little less like you've definitely lost your vote. Am I crazy?
I think, well, they say it's different this time where you can't even start looking for it until you lose. I think that's the part that's different. It's always been that you lose your vote until you find it. But I think this time it's like before you could just like go start looking for it immediately and secure your vote back. But now it's like, are you shitting me? I have to wait until we lose, and then
until
we're going to tribal that next, that night. You're gonna make me like have this, short amount of time to look for it. That's what's rough. I think
the difference for me is that Alex at no point lost his vote, and I think, and how we feel about lost votes here at Mucky Hope Productions.
Yes,
I think that's it. Whether it's slightly easier to find or something like that, I think, maybe it's sort of a little bit of both. Until you lose is something new. Maybe it's easier to find, but you have to wait until you lose. Because I really like the idea of people not losing their votes. And so the fact that Alex has had his vote this whole time has made it feel different for me. Because I feel like when this has happened in the past, it's been weeks and weeks of someone not voting.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And it also, that sort of incentivizes, hey, we got Drew.
He's here. How are you feeling? Okay.
He's doing okay.
Sorry, Jake. You're on a roll. Go, Jake.
Yeah. So the whole, like not being able to even get the idol or look for it until you've lost, it sort of incentivizes telling other people, because in these sort of cases, like, you kind of need as many people as you can to find this thing. Because, I mean, if I remember right, the one that Alex found, that wasn't easy.
It was kind of a two-person job, but just for the strength of it, not necessarily for the complexity of where it was.
Right.
Yeah, in my opinion. So to catch you up, Drew, and you can take over hosting if you like. We've talked about the snake bite of it all. We've had big discussions about that. We've just been talking about the Kumbaya idol search in both Hina and Uli, and how they ended up having different, Rizzo was like, everybody gets an idol.
So the way that it was shot, once again, we always have to do that. It kind of felt like he was in a spot where he couldn't get away with hiding it. So he was just like, hey guys, this is ours. And look, I'm thankful for the fact that he gave the confessional afterwards. It was like, no, it's mine. Which I feel like everyone kind of always does. But I feel if I was a player, I would have actually bought it the way he was selling it in that moment. So I'm glad that we know in reality he's not a moron. He's going to keep it to himself, or like maybe someone he's super tight with going forward. Because they know they're ready to go to 13. I don't blame them. I don't remember who it was, but someone goes, hey, they just lost Jake. They're voting someone else out, which means we're ready to be right around. I don't know if the merge is happening this episode or the next, but it's happening soon.
Mm.
It's kind of fine because you know that it's going to be majority blue, or not majority blue, minus blue, majority yellow versus your tribe. So you want to have all hands on deck. You want to have as many advantages as you can. Rizzo seems like he's pretty well ingrained along with Savannah, that I don't see it turning into a thing if they were to lose the next episode.
Yeah, so I don't know, Drew, if you saw, but they're swapping tribes next.
I did not watch the next time on because last season, and Vee can speak to this, last season they spoiled something during the finale in the trailer, and I was so convinced that it was a red herring. So like they wouldn't actually put that in the trailer.
What was it?
I think it was something like Mitch wasn't at a tribal during the finale or something like that.
Oh, yes. Yes, I totally know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So, like, that convinced me enough to, okay, I'm just going to not watch next time on because I was totally convinced that it was a red herring there, and it wasn't. So, I don't know what happens next time on.
Do you want to know?
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Yeah, we're tribe swapping. It's a drop your buffs moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe, they're going to do two tribes of 7 since there's 14 of them, and sort of not make them do a whole Stephanie and Bobby John situation in Palau, which, let's be real, they probably just would have lost again because they have had no flint this entire time.
And I'm sure you guys have talked about this part, but like, is it different if Jake had been on a tribe that had been winning the entire time?
With his health?
Do they still remove him from the game? Because the way that Jeff's narrating it is, well, you're going back to a camp that doesn't have this, that, or the other. It's like, well, they don't have this, that, or the other because they keep losing. Yeah. If they don't keep losing, do they still do the same thing for Jake?
That's a good question. I personally, my gut reaction to that is I think they still just take him out, but I see what you mean where it's like, that was a big, point of reason for Jeff of being like, you're going back to nothing, like you're going back to crap basically. And you're going to have to, since he's in the tribe with the least amount of people, he's going to have to compete in the challenge. He can't sit out. And that's a big difference. If he was on one of the other tribes where they have more people, they could have let him sit out. They just let him, take a rest, man. You just went through hell. So, but I still think he just gets taken out no matter what. But yeah,
I think there would be a big part of it. Like I said to Jake before, Drew, that I think when it comes to determining if there was venom or not, they probably would want more than a few hours to determine that for sure, that there wouldn't be any sort of infection or trace amount. So maybe just the observation that they want to do is also what cuts him out. And we had a chat about Australian Survivor where people have gone away for 48 hours and then come back. And perhaps if it was that sort of situation where they could keep him under observation for 48 hours and then completely clear him, maybe they would have sent him back in. But that's not how Jeff's Survivor. That's not ever how they do it.
I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm gonna rant for just a second.
Oh, go forward.
So, and it's probably because Survivor or Australia versus the World just happened, and post 2020, I've seen how American fans have been, where it's like, oh yeah, Australian Survivor is so much better because this, that, and the other, and blah blah blah. And like, no matter what Australian Survivor does, that may even be like, that's probably a bad idea. American Survivor fans will be like, oh yeah, that's amazing because it happened on Australian Survivor. As Jake is being removed from the game, like I felt for him, obviously. But in the back of my head, it's like, man, the American fans that love Australian Survivor are going to be like, this would never happen on this show. Like, they could never, we would never allow this. And this is why American Survivor sucks now, and this, that, and the other. And it pissed me off more than it made me feel bad for Jake, because I did feel bad for Jake. I teared up.
Oh,
but like no, like I felt bad for Jake, because you could, I mean, obviously you could tell from day one how much it meant to him, and for it to be taken away from that for something that, as it happened, it was very nonchalant, like, oh yeah, the snake maybe bit me. I don't know. Let's call in production. It just made me like go back to, man, the fans that are so overly hateful of American Survivor. This is just going to add more credence to it of like, oh, well, in Heroes versus Villains and Australian Survivor, they could just do this, that, and the other. And I love Australian Survivor. It's great. Just don't like the fans. Long story short, yeah, I was thinking about it watching the episode of would if things have been different, but Jake does raise a good point. And I guess both of you make a good point. I do feel like he probably still would have been pulled, because you don't know for a fact that it was, because what do they call it? A dry bite. A dry bite.
yeah.
You don't know if maybe we missed something, or maybe this, or maybe that, and we can't risk in our 49th season killing someone. So yeah.
Yes. Well, Michael, thank you, Mucky, for chiming in. Got to get Drew. But before that, he screams, "You don't like us."
Yeah. The Australian fans that like Australian Survivor, they're fine. It's the American fans that it's like, okay.
Yeah, those annoy me too.
It's the American fans. Australian fans that like Australian Survivor, I get it. American fans, I think they're just hipsters.
Yeah,
oh, right.
Definitely. I agree completely.
Well, anyway, so I was interested in the Sage conversations on Uli. Sage trying to get a foothold. I actually thought that would come. That was hinting towards a Uli tribal. Sage is throwing Savannah's name out. Shannon immediately tells Savannah. I think that was a little bit of a just useless chat, because they didn't end up going to tribal. But I just think that's also significant to going forward, that Sage is really at the bottom and also not handling it well. So, if Uli ever gets to tribal, or they won't now because they're going to be tribe swapped. So Sage might be able to get a foothold. But I just felt like talking about something other than Kelly. I don't know. But
yeah, I think it could be like Danica is saying in the chat, could be sort of a foreshadowing or a lead up to whatever happens in the tribe swap, or maybe even the merge. Like maybe Sage is like the one to jump ship from everyone solid in the Uli alliance except for her, because she fell on the outs and sort of like an outcast, and so she wants to test her luck with the others. Who knows? But yeah, it was definitely an interesting chat that I definitely also thought was leading to a tribal for them, that would, have them finally go to tribal, other than Kelly for the fourth time or whatever.
And as Gabe points out, Sage and Joanne being saved by this swap.
Yeah. I feel like, and I know we talked about 2 weeks ago for me, but it's a running gag of, we kind of know who's going to be on 50, and it sucks because like I in my head it's like maybe they'll give Jake a beast mode cowboy spot from Game Changers, where it's like, hey, we almost killed you, so here's a spot here. But we know that it's not going to happen, so we know who's going to make it relatively far in this season. And so when we're seeing Savannah get clocked in episode 3, hey, she's a threat because all the things, social, strategic, and physical. In my head, it's like, and I agree with you, V, where it's like, well, we know she's not going to go home. So if they did go to tribal, she's not the one that's going to take the brunt of it. It's going to be anyone trying to come after her. To a certain point, like I'm sure if when they merge, it's everyone could go home. And that's once again, it's one of the frustrating things of how they set up 50. And I know this is going to be a running thing on here for the rest of the season, but like if they hadn't done that, if they hadn't shown, if it hadn't been leaked how the tribes are going to be, this game could be wide open. Because I think there was a couple of really, until Jake went home in this episode, I thought Jake was like a big contender, not to win, but like to do really well moving forward. So, you know, seeing Savannah get clocked is like, yeah, but she's not going home, so it doesn't matter. It sucks. It sucks watching it like that.
I think Gabe made the point, is horrible trusting Shannon should have gone to Joanne, her fellow bottom buddy. Does she also know that Joanne is on the bottom? I don't know if they've had that conversation.
I feel like there's been some comments here and there about him, you know, sneaking off to go look for idols, but who knows if that's even, like, maybe they've sort of squashed that. Maybe no one even cares about that anymore after he came back and you know, won it for the tribe in the journey last episode or the one before. I can't remember.
Yeah, last episode.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe that restored some of their trust in Jawan and they don't really consider him on the bottom, but it definitely does feel like it's Rizzo, Savannah, and I would say Nate, honestly.
Riz God.
Yeah, the Riz God.
R-I-Z.
R-I-Z-G-O-D.
Yeah.
Check your privilege.
Yeah. What am I doing here?
Just because you're not a god doesn't
mean I can't give him his proper name. R-I-Z-G-O-D and
Riz God baby.
Savannah. Riz God baby. No, I love him. I love him so far. Him and Savannah, and I would say Nate, honestly, kind of seem to be chilling. Like those three, and I mean, I guess Shannon, but I'm not really sure about it. I don't know if she's like really safe or if like she just really trusts everyone, those three, and you know that's why she sort of blabbed to Savannah about what Sage said. So with Jawan too, it does. I would assume that everyone is kind of aware, or at least Sage is aware, that like it's Savannah and Rizzo and Nate, or Riz God. My apologies. Savannah, Riz God, and Nate, and sort of everyone else. And so I think that's why she felt why she could go to Shannon, because she's like, well, she's not one of those three, you know. But she trusts Savannah just like the rest of them. She's being misted, you know, as the Big Brother fans would say. So I think that's why she went. But yeah, obviously with hindsight, you know, she should probably go to Jawan. Jawan doesn't even know he's on the bottom. So who knows if he would have, you know, not blabbed to Savannah as well. So maybe Sage was just screwed in that scenario. She just wasn't able to tell anybody. She just had to keep it to herself. Who knows?
I think with the tribe swap now, it'll be good to have an opportunity to really understand the gameplay of some of these purpled players that really haven't. No one's been purpled, but you know, just a little bit of details from your Jasons, from your Joannes, a bit more of what those dynamics are now that they've completely shifted again. So it's probably time. It is probably time for a swap. Yeah. To keep this thing moving.
How many times have they done this in the last 9 seasons? 3? 2 or 3?
The swap?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 45, 48. They did in 48.
Okay, so 3 times. This will be the 3rd time they've done it since.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very common.
And and I think, I mean, obviously, I think it's validated here. I don't know if it was planned beforehand or not, but like, and this, I don't agree with Survivor fans often, but when people complain about how many seasons in a row we've had 3 starting tribes, yeah, like it's, and even if you go to, I don't know, when did they start really, like before COVID? I would say what 30. They 3 tribes are fine if you sprinkle it in there.
Yeah.
Do it every season for 9 seasons in a row at least, or 8 seasons, whatever it is.
It was like Millennials versus Gen X. From then on, it was literally 2 tribes of 10 every single time until like Edge of Extinction.
And they swapped to 3. I think almost all of them.
They would swap to 3 and sometimes back to 2 and then merge, and it was like too much, guys.
If you keep on doing this, I understand. Like Jeff brings up during Tribal, which I know we're going to get to. Oh yeah, like you're in some crazy company. It's like not really at this point. Like, yeah, crazy company of getting down to 2, yes. But like crazy company as far as your tribe being demoralized, it's happened a lot.
Oh, it happens. It literally happens every single season. It literally happens every single season.
So it's not like this is the first time that it has happened. And yes, like I said, I feel like American Survivor fans complain about a lot of things. This is one that I agree with, where it's like, yeah, you don't have to do this every season. I understand that, like, 3 tribes, you can't hide as much as you do in 2 tribes. You can't. There are testaments of that from 33 on, or whatever on. But it's frustrating that, like, I understand they're never going to change advantages. They're never going to change this. They're never going to change that. Tribe size is something that they can change, and they can still say, oh yeah, we still have control over it. I don't know if I'm making sense, but like, they're never going to change. We're going to put a lot of advantages in. They're never going to change. You lose your vote if you do this at this point.
Especially now that they're at 90 minutes.
They're not going to change because they're stubborn. Tribe size is something that, like, it's not like there's not precedent recently where they do larger tribes. So that's what's frustrating.
Yeah, I can't remember how we started talking about that.
Probably, the fact that, like, you know, they're whittling down their numbers, and Jeff was like, "Oh, this never."
Oh yes, that's right. Yes,
you're in some elite company or whatever. It's like this happens like every season. No, yeah, I mean, we saw it with. I just went through it again. 33 through 40. Every single season was 2 tribes of 10, except for Edge of Extinction, which was 3 tribes of 6. They just randomly were like, let's just do 3 tribes of 6. Why not? Who cares? And so that sort of proves the point of, like, that was on the same filming cycle as one of the other seasons. So clearly they have no issue with just sprinkling in, like Drew said, sprinkling in a difference of tribe composition. Like, that's just not that hard to change. I don't understand what's so hard about this. I am thankful that they're finally doing a tribe swap, especially because I just don't. It was cute when it happened the first time with Stephanie and Palau, where they went down to 2, and then they had to have a fucking fire making challenge. Like, that to me used to prove the theory that everything is already planned before the season. They know if they're doing a tribe swap. They know if they aren't. It's not going to change. It doesn't matter what happens in the middle of the season. They're not straying from it. I think that kind of proves it, because that was crazy to have it go down to 1 person. But this time around, this feels like they're intervening, and they're saying, let's do let's do a tribe swap, because there's 14. What if this season they decided let's merge at 12, which they've done, or 2 tribes, or like, the mergatory or whatever. What if they decided before the season, let's do that at 12 or even 11?
Well,
And you're literally going to have a tribe of 1, maybe 0, maybe, it whittles down to just Alex or just Sophie in the tribe. And then the numbers stack up to a point where that could have been a possibility. Does anybody understand what I'm trying to say? I don't think that this was planned before. No, I think that they intervened.
And I was thinking about this as the episode is progressing, and I don't remember, and one of you guys are going to have to let me know. On the ballot that they were doing during 48, like, oh, you vote for this, vote for that. Was there a merge number on there? I don't think there was, but like I haven't had time to look.
I don't think so.
Because for me, because in the event that it wasn't, that means that 49 and 50 production wise, they already know how we voted going into 49. And so for me, it was, okay, well, if they know how we're voting for 50, they might as well just run 50 or run 49 like they're going to run 50.
Sort of like they did with 38 for Edge of Extinction with Winners at War.
Exactly, except for the fans didn't vote for 38, so the production didn't know how much fans hated Edge of Extinction.
Yes, that's true, yeah.
But yes, the same idea of they know how we feel for 50. Why don't we just run 49 exactly like how we're going to run 50 as like not even a test run, because we can't change anything before 50. I agree that I don't think it was. I don't think it was planned. But also, as both of you guys have alluded to and or outright said, it was fun in Palau. Fun, relative. When it happens in Philippines, it's like, all right, yeah, whatever. At this point, because it has happened a fair few times in the 40s, not where they get down to 1, but where it gets down to a point where it's like, it's not fun watching these people just
lose every time. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can tell you right now, like the tribe with Andy and Sam, they lost a bunch of times in 47. In 46, the tribe with Banu and Kenzie and Q, they lost a million times. Like, this happens, like, I can tell you the times it happened more times than I can tell you it didn't. You know what I mean? Like, where they at least go down to like 2 or 3. Like, it feels like it happens all the time where it's like, Jeff, we just keep losing. We just keep losing. I don't know what to do. I need some hope in this game. Oh, God.
Yeah.
And
it's no fun.
I'm getting kind of sick of it.
Yeah. It's, when last I did my marathon, Palau was the season that dropped the most. And for me, it was one, I've seen Palau enough where it's like, I don't care about Oolong getting decimated like that. But I also, thinking about it now, it's because I've seen this happen so many times now that not only do I have rewatching Palau so many times, now I've watched this happen so many times in seasons that have happened afterwards. It's like, I really don't care. And actually it becomes a more boring watch knowing that it's just, no matter what storylines we give you for these other tribes, it's not really going to matter until the merge, because this tribe is going to be moving.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, oh my God, 41 with
Shan and Ricard.
Yes, that and just the fact that the tribe that Erica was on with Deshaun and Danny,
where they tried to throw the challenge. They tried to throw the challenge.
They didn't even lose. They did not lose a single challenge before the merge. They literally went into the merge with all 6 of their people, and they composed 4 of the final 6. And it's like, cool. Every single scene that you showed me before, like, just did not matter. Like, they literally were like, we need to take out Erica. We need to throw this challenge to take out Erica. And it's like, I guess that, like, that's a cute little, like, but then we find out that, like, that wasn't even, like, real or something, like, in the post-game interviews. Like, it's just, I just want more parity. And I know that, like, they don't know what's going to happen. They can't predict how each tribe is going to fare in each of these challenges. But it really does feel like that they purposely make one of them weaker than the other 2. Like, the fact that it happens so much, like, that's kind of what
it's fun
like
when
it
happens in a season or 2 in a row. But when you do so many seasons in a row where it continues to happen, it's like, okay, we get it. Hey, we get it. Hey, we get it. No. We actually get it this time.
No, like, we definitely get it.
We definitely get it. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
And even better, even worse, better, whatever, when the player of the season and or winner of the season happens to be on the tribe that gets demoralized, it's once again like, yeah, we get it. Like,
we get it. That happens. Like, it feels like
bottom
that happens all the time.
Yeah. Ricard, you brought up 41. Ricard was on the tribe that got demoralized and was the player of the season. Like, Ricard was the threat going into the finale.
Kenzie won.
Yeah, like, it's
Rachel was on that tribe that I mentioned in 47. She won.
Yeah,
Denise in Philippines that you said she won. It happens all the time.
It happens all the time. You don't, and I hate talking like this because I hate American Australian Survivor fans. And this is all the shit they talk about. They're the worst.
We're feeding into their propaganda.
Well, Mucky's chimed in again. I don't know who's on the pain meds, you or him, Drew. Just wait for Coach to transform into the Barlog from Lord of the Rings Slayer as an upgrade for 50, same as Erica, who went from a lamb to the lion. What?
Yeah, I understood that reference.
Okay.
That's an Avengers. So
I got that reference. I got that reference. That you got that reference.
Shall we chat about the challenge? Which I always glaze over when the challenge starts anyway. Yeah. Except it did look for a while Kayleigh was doing okay. And then the puzzle...
And then
they
got puzzle screwed.
And then Jason
Jeff starts reading their tribe, the blue tribe, their last rites, basically.
Just rinsing them. Just
they know what's going to happen. They know it's only a matter of time before it's just like, Jesus, Jeff.
They'll be dead soon. Just let them go.
You're going to go down to 2. It's like,
they know
you could easily edit this so it makes it look like it's close.
Yeah. They've done it before.
Then we sit down with Kayleigh to try and figure out what on earth they were going to do. Is Alex going to play the idol? Is Alex not going to play the idol? Jeremiah and Sophie would like to blindside Alex, and Sophie sneakily spies on Alex and Jeremiah. What were your thoughts, Drew, when they were trying to figure it all out?
Alex is going to play the idol. Like,
yeah,
I would have been more shocked if he didn't. I don't really have a horse in the race as far as who I wanted gone. I actually like it, all 3 of these individuals. And I did feel for them. I mean, Jeff makes reference to the fact that, like, this is the most sad I've ever seen 2 tribes win after winning a challenge.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because someone just got removed and now they're losing again. I thought that Jeremiah was going to go during the scramble, but I wasn't certain on it. That was just I had to pick between 2 people because I knew that Alex was going to play the idol. It's like, okay, you have a 50-50 chance of guessing right who's going to go home in this situation. And I guess because I don't like people that put so much emphasis on astrology signs. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever.
I thought of you in that
He brought up Alex being a Libra, I think, at some point during the
It was just like,
Like, I'm gonna try to
because you're a Libra.
confuse
This
him.
I'm like, oh God, just go home. I'm
No,
all
at
right
that
with a Taurus male not winning Survivor. If this is if this is the Taurus male that I have to hang my hat on.
When he started talking about that, I'm like, okay, now I'm really sure that you're going home because you're just playing off of just like magic, at this point. Like you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna try to confuse him because I know that Libras are like indecisive or something. Like, whatever, man. Like it's funny because I think if you go back to last podcast episode, I predicted that Jeremiah was going to go home. I definitely did not foresee him going home in this scenario. I did not think that Jake was going to be medically removed from the game. And then Alex plays his idol, and thus Sophie feels obligated to vote for the other person. That is not what I thought was going to happen. But yeah, I think that I really like, this is one of those scenarios for Sophie and Jeremiah where it's like, really, what are you supposed to do? Like, as Drew said, like, he's gonna play his idol. Like, they know he's not that dumb. Like, we have been shown time and time again, Alex is not a dumb player. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's not going to, he said himself, like, I would literally kick myself for the rest of my life if I went home with an idol in my pocket in this exact scenario. And I feel the exact same way. I would have played this idol 100% of the time in this scenario. No questions asked. I don't care if nobody voted for me. I don't care if I only received one vote and didn't have to. I'm playing it. It's just not happening. And for Sophie and Jeremiah, excuse me, like, you just have to be like, yeah, I'll be a better ally for the future. Like, you just have to like keep saying that. And it's like, he's just going to have to pick one of us. Like, who does he think is telling the truth about that? Like, I don't know. It's rough, man. That's a rough spot to be in. And to bring it up again, I think this should be the last time we say this. This probably wouldn't have happened if we just did 2 tribes of 10 instead of 3 tribes of 6.
Just once. Just once. You don't have to do it every season. Just mix it up a bit. If I'm not mistaken, this is the longest period where they haven't changed up tribe size.
Yeah. Or just like the composition of like the game of like 3 tribes of 6, 10 seasons in a row or 9 seasons in a row, whatever. Like, they don't do that. They literally don't do that.
7 seasons, 2 tribes of 8. 8, and then season 8 happens.
And they do 3, yeah.
Yeah, like they have mixed it up enough throughout the years that it becomes very apparent when they do 9 seasons, or whatever it is, in a row of one thing that is something that people are going to hyper focus on because these fans are crazy. We're going to hyper focus on over everything, but like this specifically, there's always, we can expect there's always going to be one tribe that we kind of just sit there and be like, oh, and there's always going to be one tribe that we're like, I don't know anybody on this tribe, and that's the yellow tribe this season. It's like, oh yeah, we've got these people.
Just another reminder, because I feel like everyone here has probably forgotten, there is a second Sophie on this season.
Yes, there is a purpled Sophie.
She is, earlier I was going to mention it, but then we sort of moved on.
I know the chat's going so fast.
V, you said, V, you said that there were no, you didn't feel like there were any purple. I was like, no, there's a purple.
There are kind of purpled. Kind of purpled.
Sophie.
Mauve edit. A mauve edit.
Sophie is purpled. I'm telling you right now, she's gotten literally 1 confessional. 2, maybe 2. Like, seriously, I know nothing about her. I don't know her job. I don't know how old she is. I don't know her personality. All I know is that I think it was Matt, the guy with the dreads, the white guy with the dreads. I think he mentioned,
Last
I think he
last
mentioned that he
week,
might want Sophie out, and then
yes,
somebody told her, and then she was like,
MC
"What?
had a
What's
chat to Sophie,
happening?"
and Sophie was pissed about being on the bottom,
Yeah,
basically.
that is all I know about her. That's all. That's all I
And
know.
it was like, oh, that's interesting, and maybe we'll find out more about that next week. So, who knows? When
Yeah.
all the tribe dynamics are going to be different anyway. So we get a Jeremiah elimination, which wasn't really shocking at this point. I'm surprised that Alex didn't take the opportunity to. In my opinion, I think Alex has seen Sophie as the stronger player, and I am curious that he didn't eliminate her as an opportunity to eliminate another strong player. But
I mean, she has said she's had the same boyfriend for however many years. She's had the same friends for however many years. Same nail tech for as many years.
Compelling argument, really.
Like if you buy into that kind of stuff, which I feel like I would, you at least put it on like, hey, I could go with this, even if I feel like this person is a threat. Because we have seen throughout Survivor history people going to merge with people they feel is a threat, whether it's because of it is a shield or whatever. I don't care. Right now, I'm just trying to get to this next stage of the game. I have no qualms, I guess, with who she picked between the two, because we do get her confessional of trying to put the boys together, or put the boys against each other. So I do think that was a testament to her game, that she was the one that didn't catch the votes of the three people. And I do think it's a testament to what you're saying of why didn't they go after her as the big threat. But if we're looking at it from her perspective, or from Alex's perspective first, yeah, I, based off of what we have seen, and I'm a biased party like we all are, I probably would have gone with her too. But I'm biased because it's like horoscopes. Like, I don't give a shit. But like that. But that's the whole thing. Is like you pick your people based off of inherent biases that you have, based off of what's going on in the game. And I'm interested to see, before they swap next episode, if we do see why she went with Alex instead of with Jeremiah. Jeremiah. I'm interested if we see how that why she did what she did.
Survival.
Well, yeah, I get that, but like, because she didn't catch any votes, she could have easily caught votes here, but she has to vote based off of how she feels one of the others going to vote, right? She believes in her heart that Alex is going to vote this way. I want to see why she voted that way instead of voting with Jeremiah, when she thinks that potentially Jeremiah is going to, realistically, Jeremiah is going to vote Alex. Why she chose one way or the other. If she
want to hear,
I'm going to catch any votes.
Yeah, I want to hear, and I think Gabe is probably right in the chat here. He says, I was fine with Alex's choice. Jeremiah gave him nothing. At least Sophie was saying that I'm with you. And that was a part of Jeremiah's bizarre horoscope strategy of being like, I'm not going to push him either way because I want to feed into his Libra indecisiveness or whatever. And that will just bamboozle him and he'll just have no idea what to do and I'll survive. No, you just didn't give him anything. So he's going to think, okay, what are you doing here? So like Sophie at least pretended to, or maybe she really did, want to work with him and continue in the game with him. So yeah, I feel like that's probably why Alex made the choice that he did. And maybe Sophie sort of picked up on that as well. So she's like, you know what? I feel like Alex is going to vote for Jeremiah. So let me just save the trouble and just vote with him just in case he, whatever. So.
Yeah. Well, I think we've talked enough about that. And last week we had a chat about who's going next. I feel like it's a bit hard to predict, but let's have a chat about who is your winner pick, even though you've never met Hina.
Yeah. It's funny because with Hina, I do feel like Steven. I get a vibe from him where it's just like, I think this guy could do it. I think this guy could win. MC as well, but it feels a little too obvious. So it's like Steven is like somebody that they're always mentioning. Like, I love Steven. I really like Steven. I get really great vibes from Steven. Everyone wants to work with him. I think he just has really good social skills, and that's just kind of what we see from winners in the new era. Yeah. So I don't think that I completely agree with you that Hina is like, who are these people to an extent, but I feel like Steven is definitely Steven and MC, more so Steven, I would say, given that, he was actually like mentioned in the premiere episode, unlike MC. He's definitely a contender up there for me. It's hard to say this too, just given what we know about 50 as well, but Savannah, I mean, it's kind of hard to ignore that, but she's kind of got everyone wrapped around her finger except for Sage. So, I mean, we had somebody like blab to her about it. Like, that's always a really like big sign that like, you're somebody that like people trust when that happens.
Yeah. How about you, Drew? Do you have a winner pick at this stage?
Savannah, yeah. Were there 4 winners and winners at 4 winners on Heroes versus Villains?
Tom,
JT, Parvati, Sandra. Is that it?
Sandra.
Oh,
I think so.
Yeah.
2 heroes, 2 villains. I've been while we're doing this, because I've been trying to stray away from Savannah, just to be contrarian. If I'm not mistaken, and someone will comment somewhere, every returnee season has had, even as far as like disbursement among starting tribes, winners. And this season, I'm trying to just hope this is the time that Survivor strays away from that, because it really sucked for, not because of how they're performing, because I do feel like Savannah and Rizzo are performing very well. It would just suck for them to basically leak who wins in the off season. So Savannah, yes. Going into the episode, I was very high on Jake. I thought Jake would have the right type of personality along with the buff guy to potentially do it. I do feel like, I don't know. I think it's gonna be Savannah. I hate saying that, because I want to be a contrarian for this. I want to be for this.
I'll tell you this. I just checked. So you were correct about Heroes versus Villains. There were 2 winners on the Heroes and 2 heroes on the Villains. But in Game Changers, there were only 3 winners. There was Tony, JT, and Sandra. That was it. And there was 2 of them on one tribe, 1 on the other. So it's not unprecedented that they go with an odd number or not even. So just to give you some hope in that sort of, I completely see why you would think, even with the whole game, like with this, not doing it even on Game Changers, I still, see where you're coming from with like, they're probably going to try to evenly distribute winners, but they might not. They might not.
If they don't do that, I think that the game is actually wide open. I do think that there are a couple people now that Jake is gone. I'm just pulling up my notes. Sorry. Now that Jake is gone, I don't know. He's the first buff guy in a few seasons where I thought, oh, this person could actually do something, because we got his backstory and it wasn't Jonathan's backstory. God, it was something that you could latch on to. But if we were to, I think Blue Sophia, because
Sophie,
yes. I think that she could, because we did get at least a peek into how she can navigate a smaller tribe. The fact that she was able to navigate a tribe of 3 and not catch votes. When I mean, she pulled a Tony move of like spying on people and thought, oh man, I might catch votes here. And as an audience, I'm sure at least 33 to a third of us probably thought she might catch votes here. And the fact that she didn't catch votes here is a testament to how good she was with these two people. Ow. I do think that there is space for her, especially now with the swap coming, that she could do that same thing again, because it's not like she has to do that same thing for 3 or 4 rounds. She has to do it for 1 or 2 rounds. And she still has Alex, because, hey, I kept you safe, fam. And she has whoever she potentially keeps safe on the swap tribe in the event that they lose. So, I think that there's a possibility that she could be the one. If like Jake is right, that there is precedent to there not being an evenly split thing. If they don't go that way for 50, she would be my pick.
Look, we're going to have to wrap it up, but I just need to make sure everyone subscribes for Cheeky Naughty Times. Make sure you subscribe. If you've enjoyed this chat where we get right into the nitty-gritty of it, please subscribe. We also have an Instagram, Mucky Hope Productions, and a Spotify, which is Spotify. I should probably clarify that. It is Spotify. We have a Spotify. Is there anything else you guys want to add? Not for too much longer.
No.
I'm good.
We've also got the Amazing Race live this Wednesday coming up, and the absolute hot train wreck that has been, with teams dropping out and dying like flies. And we got a little taste of that in Survivor this week. So hopefully it won't go the way of the Amazing Race, where everyone just keeps dropping out. But thank you all for joining. And sorry, who gets the Vee's Knees award? Well, who should get the Vee's Knees award this week? I think there's only one guy that should get it.
Jake?
Yeah. Exactly. Jake should get the Vee's Knees award. If anyone battled,
he lived.
He lived. He did.
The boy who lived.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us in chat. Thank you for joining Jake and Coach Drew, and we'll see you next week, where hopefully Coach Drew will be well enough to host.
Yeah. We're getting back. We're getting back.
All right. Bye, everyone.